I undid the IF can lid yesterday. As you can see, I also tried to clean it. And if you compare the can on the left with the can on the right, well, I'm pretty certain you can see the difference. There is that smelly, dirty, white kind of powder on the right one, which I managed to take off of the left can. Now, I'm still a bit doubting whether I should polish the whole chassis and everything up in such a way that it would look almost brand new, or leave it a little bit, well, let's say maybe not tatty, but a little bit dirty, a little bit oxidized, just to show that it's old and used. So I don't know. If you guys have an opinion on this, well, just let me know, because I'm still wondering whether, for example, I should polish it up or maybe even paint it. I don't know. Just let me know what your opinion is. Alright, so I'm in the process of disassembling the radio, and I took off the front panel, or the dial if you wish. The screw on the flywheel, that gave me a little bit of a pain. I think it was oxidized shut. I don't know, let me see if I can focus it. There, you see the little screw on the bottom, this little thing here. Well, that gave me a heck of a lot of trouble to get loose. It was really, well, not rusted, but oxidized shut. Anyway, I did manage to get it loose with some special lubricant, something like this. Yeah, universal silicone oil. And it worked. It released the screw, and there you go. Now I have already quite a bit of space to work with. So my goal is this. With as little damage as possible to the chassis, I'm going to undo all these parts, like this capacitor here, and then this capacitor, and then I don't know if this is a capacitor. No, this is a whatchamacallit, a resistor. So I'm going to change these old style resistors like this one, and the capacitors like this one or this one, for new ones. I think the wiring I'll leave as it is. Okay, it looks a little bit dirty, but aside from that, it looks quite sound. So the wiring, I don't think I'll change that. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going in town, and I'm probably going to buy some parts so that I can start work on the chassis tomorrow and have you enjoy the moment together with me. So stay in touch, and I hope I will be able to show you some more exciting stuff tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye. Before I head off and continue work on this N3, I wanted to give you a tip, a top tip of this video, and that is to buy yourself a set of little screw bits like this. You know, it's really useful. And if you can, do like me and buy screw bits of different shapes. You know, you have the Phillips, the flat one, that's more classical. Then you have star bits and really tiny little bits, almost like imbus bits, but really very fine. And this steel is so hard, it won't break if you put some force on it. It also has a very good handle to use. You know, you can grip it quite hard and put a lot of pressure on it, so it's quite useful to have something like this. It doesn't cost much. I mean, this set cost me, I think, if I remember correctly, €3.99. So that would be about $5.99. You know, it's really not worth struggling with special screws and all that for that price. Just go out and buy yourself a little bit set like this with a proper handle, and it will save you a lot of time. Okay, that's it for the top tip of this week. Alright, I got the tuning capacitor out of the radio, and as you can see, it's in reasonable shape. It needs a little bit of cleaning because it's oxidized too. And the way I did this was by releasing the tuning wheel first, then taking off the panel. Then, as you can see, it has 3 screws on its front panel, and those were screwed in those 3 holes here. So I released those 3 screws, then I released the screw which holds down this IF coil, so that I can slightly nudge it to the right and tease this capacitor out of its position. Now, mind you, as you can see, the spot is just wide enough to accommodate this capacitor. But as you can see, the tuning shaft is quite long. So if I want to tease this out of its spot, then I had to undo this coil so I could nudge it a little bit to the right, then lift the capacitor a little bit up and to me, and then gently nudge it out of its position like this. I also made sure that it was closed. Now that the capacitor was rolled in completely like this, so which gave me a little bit more space than if it would be rolled out like this. Okay, now some of you might be thinking, why the hell am I doing all this? Well, quite frankly, because I want to release this IF can cover, and for that I need to be able to reach the bolts which you see here on the chassis. This bolt is relatively simple. That one, as you can see, is buried all the way down between the components. So in order to get this off, I need to get the tuning capacitor off. But to get the tuning capacitor off, I had to have the tuning wheel off, and to have the tuning wheel off meant also I had to take off the whole dial. So in order to release this, I had to take well, roughly speaking, 2 or 3 parts off first. But that's not too big a bother, because I have to change all these parts, these capacitors and resistors too. So it will make my life a little bit easier. So it isn't that much work. So there you go. That's where I'm at right now. I'll give you an update a little bit later. And there you have it. One reasonably clean IF can, one very dirty IF can. So I finally managed to unscrew the IF can from its location, and as you can see, it was screwed down right here where the tweezers point. So down, all the way down there, and up here, yeah, where the tweezers point. So that second IF can was a little bit of a pain to release, but there you are. I finally managed, and now you can see both IF coils that were hidden under the cans. Now, as you can see, there are two, I think it's, well, paper caps. They are sort of covered in wax. But what you also probably notice is that the wires of the IF coils are extremely thin and they look very brittle. And one of the wires looks even stuck into the wax of one of the capacitors. So I have my work cut out to release those capacitors if I want to change them. So anyway, I prepared, you might say, the chassis for unmounting, and the next thing to do, of course, is to start changing all the old components for new ones. So that'll be in one of the next videos. So until then, good evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.